Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about section 2, solving literal equations. Let's get into those notes right now. Alright, let's take a look at section 2, activity 1, solving literal equations. These are actually some of my favorite equations to solve, even though they're some of the students' least favorite. I'm going to show you why they're actually quite simple to do. If you take a look at model 1, it says d equals rt, and it's telling us to solve for r. When it says solve for r, that means the answer is going to be r equals something. We want r by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to rewrite the problem so it's nice and big. D equals rt. Again, I'm trying to get r by itself. So if I'm reading this problem by what operations are happening, r is being multiplied by t. So in order to reverse that, I need to do the opposite of multiplying by t. So I'm going to divide by t, and like always, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So now r is by itself, and r is equal to d divided by t. And that's it. That's the answer. The purpose of these problems is to be able to rearrange an equation. And like I said at the top, I like these problems because for the most part, we're focusing on the operation and not so much solving for an answer with numbers. Let's take a look at model number 3. It says solve k equals 1/2 times mv squared. It wants us to solve for m. So again, my answer in the very end should say m equals. So let's go ahead and write this problem down. So the goal is to get the letter or the variable m by itself. Right now, it's being multiplied by 1/2 and v squared. Now, the more comfortable you get, sometimes you can do multiple steps at once. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to clear this fraction. Every time you see a fraction in these problems, we're going to want to clear it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. What that's going to do is that's going to change the left side to become 2k, and the 1/2 and the 2 cancel each other out because 1/2 of 2 is 1. So essentially, now it's just a 1. So, but I'm still left with mv squared. Now my goal is to get m by itself. I don't have to get v by itself. So a lot of students will see v squared and start thinking they got to worry about, getting rid of that squared. I don't have to get rid of the squared. I have to get mv, or I have to get v squared out of there. So all I have to do is look, how is v connected to m? It's multiplying. So to get rid of it, I'm going to divide on both sides. That will eliminate the v squareds, leaving that m by itself. So m is equal to 2 times k all over v squared. And there is my final answer for that one. What I'd like to do ahead is go ahead and scroll ahead to activity number 2. So this one says multi-step. So we're still doing the same thing. We're giving us a problem. This first one says t is equal to m minus n. Solve for n. So again, we're trying to get one of those variables isolated. I'm trying to get n by itself. So how are these attached? Well, I could do a lot of moving here. So what I'm going to do is, it's easier for me, is I'm going to take this n and I'm going to move it over here. So since it says minus n, I'm simply going to add n to the other side. So since t and n are not like terms, I now have n plus t is equal to m. Well, I want n by itself, this one right here, so I got to get rid of this plus t. So I'm going to minus this t from both sides. N is now isolated. M minus t, those are not like terms, so it's going to stay m minus t. And there we go. There's our final solution. The last example we'll take a look at, we got c equals 5/9 times the quantity f minus 32. They want us to get f by itself. A little bit more challenging looking of a problem, but it won't be too bad. So the very first thing we got to do is we got to realize what's happening to the letter f. F is being subtracted by 32, and then it's being multiplied by 5/9. First thing I want to do is I want to clear that fraction. I want that out of the problem. So since it's dividing by 9, I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 9. So this becomes 9c is equal to, well, these 9's cancel, but 5 is still there. Oop. And now I want to get f by itself, but it's still, the parentheses is still contained until I get rid of this 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So now I have 9c divided by 5 is equal to, now I can get rid of the parentheses because there's nothing on the outside anymore. Well, if I want to get f by itself, f is being subtracted by 32. I'm simply going to add 32 to the other side. And my final answer when f is isolated is 9c over 5 plus 32. And there's my final answer. So these literal equations are more about what operations you need to identify and reverse than anything else. If you have questions, let me know. I'll see you in class next time.